7 years ago, I loved you. Up until the day you decided to kill our baby. Our unborn baby. But still. My hands shake, and I try to hold back tears as I toss several pieces of clothing into a canvas bag sitting on our bed. I need to get out of here fast.
This is not the prologue about our protagonist. This is a warning about what we're about to enter. Welcome to All Eyes on Him. I'm Zan, konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up? And welcome to another Spiraken Book Club, the show where we talk about various books, their impact, and more importantly, if they're worth reading or not. And this is our 28th installment of Project 45 by 45, where I read 45 books before I hit 45. And I'm excited for this one because this is something a little different. It is more of a true thriller than as Mapping the Interior was and The Whisper Man. But let's get to it. Because if you remember from the last episode, I spoke about this. And what were we talking about? We are talking about a book that was written by Iliana Xander. And that's why I picked it, because obviously Xander, Zan, enough said. But let's get to it because we're talking about All Eyes on Him. This is the story of a young woman who is trying to get revenge for her friend and ends up getting involved in a very nefarious situation with an individual who seems perfectly normal, but there's more going on. Or is there? It's a story of Natalie. Natalie and her three friends came from the Midwest to the city in order to make it big. One of their friends unfortunately passed away, and all she has left is Kara, her best friend, her roommate, coolest thing ever. And one day they go out clubbing, they have a blast. Kara meets a guy. She says, "This guy is going to be my ticket out of here." Walks off. And then Kara is found unconscious, unmovable, and in a coma. What happened? Well, Natalie doesn't know, and more importantly, her last link to her life is sick. So what would you do? Would you go investigate, or would you leave it to the police? The police don't know what happens, and she doesn't know what to do until one day she's walking down the street, sees a magazine with a new billionaire, the man of the year. And who is this man of the year? Well, this is Jeffrey Rosenbaum, a new tech giant who suddenly appeared out of nowhere, who's doing great. And it's the guy that Kara met. So she has to investigate. But, like with most of these stories, she ends up bumping into someone and saving their life who's about to walk in the street. A young man named Nick. He's handsome, he's charismatic, and Nick, turns out, is the chauffeur to Jeffrey. So she ends up saying she lost her job, things aren't going well, and she ends up getting a job in the house of the illustrious Jeffrey Rosenberg. Now she's going to try to find out what happened, get some evidence against this guy, and bring him to justice. But she has to contend with not only potential feelings for Nick, but also some interesting rules by the head of household, Julian, who is a prick and someone who maybe is a little more than what he seems, or maybe he's a jerk. We don't know. But as she enters into this web of a story, we follow her and wonder what's going to happen. This is a book that is extremely fast paced. If you love it or hate it, doesn't matter. This book goes like that. It is super just you go through the book really quickly. I did this in 8 hours. It is a fast book. It goes well. It's got great pacing to it, and the story itself is interesting. And I say interesting instead of captivating, instead of wonderful, because it is a unique element for this mystery of she's trying to investigate her friends, what happened to her friend. She ends up finding the guy, going to visit him, work for him, and you would think it would go into the area of, oh, she's going to fall in love with the guy, and then this or that. Well, that's not exactly what happens. This is not the housemaid. This is something else. However, on the same token, there are red flags in this book. There are tons of red flags in this book. And as Natalie is going through this, she sees all these red flags. Literally, it's not even like a matador waving the red cape. There's a huge 20-foot flag waving in front of her. And she keeps going forward, keeps progressing forward in this story. And it's kind of maddening because honestly, yeah, she's a little much and is a little crazy. And it's a little frustrating because honestly, you're like, what are you doing? Just go to the cops. Just deal it with like that. And nope. She just keeps plodding along on this journey to potential badness and insanity. And it is fascinating as we put the pieces together on what is going on. And there's some conclusions which happen, which you're like, okay, maybe it's this. But no, it's this. It does have a twist. And that is a better moment to it. However, if you're a fan of thrillers, of a predictable story, it's okay. It is a thriller which is not the best. Not at all. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. This is better than Hollow. This is better than The Whisper Man. This is better than Mapping the Interior. Is it better than some other books you've read? Kinda. It's okay. It's fast paced and it's well done. It's entertaining. But is it great? Well, it's up to your opinion on how you feel about this. I could go further into it, and I should go further into it. Like, what is my concept? The fact that it is a first person book where each chapter, whoever the title of the book is, the chapter is, that's who's doing the narration. That has been done a lot of times. First time I ever saw that was with George R. R. Martin, and it's been forward. It's first person. So we get into each of the characters' heads, and when we get the reveal of the true antagonist, it makes sense. And we get their story, and I like that fact. The story progresses really well. I would have liked a couple of moments to breathe on this, to be truthful. It's a story which I did not want to like, and I ended up liking it a bit. Like I said, I finished this in 8 hours. I was captivated and reading it, and I didn't want to stop. There's some of the books that we've read on this, which I enjoy the book immensely, but I have to take breaks. It's too depressing, too long, too stressful. This wasn't that. This was the story progressed really fast, and I was like, wait, I'm on chapter 9. It's been 20 minutes. What the hell? However, could have been that's the size of the print because it is a larger print book, or more realistically, this is a book that is designed for the TikTok generation. Now, that makes me sound like an old man. I'm technically an old man. I'm going to be 45 soon. This is a book that is designed for someone with a low sense of, well, concentration. If you want a low commitment, no concentration needed, your attention is lacking, this is the book for you. You'll go through this 1, 2, 3, boom, done. If you want something that's a little more contemplative, this is not the book for you. This is not a book which is going to take its time. This is going to hit the ground running and run, 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 run. To quote Pompo from the manga Pompo the Cinephile, some of the best stories are 90 minutes. That's it. And something that's all you need. And this is one of those situations where this book, it doesn't need to be contemplated. It is a good book. Is it a great book? No. Not by a long shot. This is popcorn. This is something which you read to enjoy. Like if you're going on a plane ride, if you're going to go on a boat trip, if you're in a car or a train, this is the book you bring for it. Is it something you're going to go back and read? No. Is it something that you'll enjoy and think about later? Well, that's up to you. And I know I just made a complete swerve 180, but that's how my thoughts are right now. So, regardless, what am I going to say? Well, I was thinking about it. I went back and forth, but I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt because, like I said, I read this extremely fast. After Virginia Woolf, I'm shocked that this was so well written. Well, not well written, but pace wise. The prose are unique. And so, as you can guess, I'm going to give this. I'm not giving it a really, really cool. It didn't deserve that. It did not. I'm going to give this a Far From a Friend. It's a tense, fast-paced thriller with a desperate hunt for answers that unravels into a trap you won't see coming. And it is true, the twist in this is something which you don't see coming. However, it is a story which is a little bit predictable. So, yeah, we have that. Did it all wrap up in a nice little package? A little. Did it lean heavily more on thriller than romance? Yes. Did it kind of bait and switch you with romance? Yes. It baits and switches you with romance on multiple parts where there's multiple characters who are potential mates. They kind of go, oh no, we're gonna go that way. We're gonna go that way. So take that as you will. But regardless, check it out. I think you might like it. I think you might not. I don't know. So from thrillers, I was thinking let's do something a little different. So for book number 29, I was going back and forth, and I figured I would do a book by Yeeun that I got a screener copy for. And the funny part is I got the screener copy, and then the book literally came out about 2 weeks ago. And what are we talking about? We are talking about Teddy Bears Can't Die. And this is a book that is by, I believe, Yoon is the name of the author. Let me check. Yes, Cho Yeeun. And this is a story which looks insane. There's a teddy bear with an axe on it. What's it about? I don't know, but it's apparently weird Korean horror. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Well, we're going to have to wait and find out. But regardless, as usual, I hope you liked this episode. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, click on that bell for notification for when these new episodes. And as always, I'm your host, Zan. I'm Gonzville. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep reading books. I'll see you later.